history lessons are too good to not capture, Vana.
And then the good thing about the Muslim influence in that time, they know how to mix with the locals. So they mix our old Hindu culture into the Muslim religion. So the people who are Hindu before, they can accept it. In that time, the spiritual things is everywhere in this Indonesia country, and in that time also, a lot of demons, bad spirits always try to attack people, like they possessed. And then the Muslim people who has the high level in their Islamic beliefs, they know how to cure people just to read the verses of Quran.
How is that different from like the high levels of like Sufi magic? Because I've heard of like Sufi magic in some Arabic cultures, and like they use what it was. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's like a Jawa or something like this. Like they have these cloth. Okay, so
Sufi is like a higher level in Islam, but they depending more on the spiritual side.
So same to like Kabbalah in Judaic tradition, like it's like a kind of the mystical or the spiritual side of that religion.
Yeah, they more into meditation, and they have dances for like getting more into spiritual side. They have all their own. They are Muslims and they pray and do everything, but they gather together and they do some dances and singing.
You know the dancing that they do, the spin.
Yeah.
They don't even feel dizzy.
Something
they can keep spinning for hours and hours without getting pain.
Mo was showing me video last night from the Indonesian Borneo, like indigenous dances, and they had all these bells and everything on them. They were spinning around and spinning around, and while they were spinning, he referred to this one guy as like a general, like the leader of this tribe, and you see his face like go, like this, and he's shaking, and he's making these noises, and his like spirit come inside of him, but he's not the one dancing. He's watching, and all the people who are dancing. It's like the more that they were dancing, the more the spirits inside this general, this guy.
Yeah, the people who dance is like the device for the person who walks over.
Oh.
The power comes through the person who walks. It's like the engine in the machine.
Like hypnotizing and
they are
make the
gear.
machine function.
The people who dancing is like the gear, and the gear makes the power to the engine. So this guy who watches transfer the power from these gears to him.
That's incredible. Yeah. So in these traditional temples that are all over Bali, one of the things that I've noticed that is very strange to me. So in Thailand, there's always people at the temples, at the Wats, But I've seen here, the gates are always closed. Sometimes they're locked. And I see offerings outside, but during the day, I never see like a priest or a monk or, any kind of like holy figure in the temple. And I don't see people inside the temples worshiping. Why are these temples empty? And there's so many of them. And I walk past them all the time. And I don't see people worshiping in these temples. What is up with that?
Here, right?
Yeah, here.
So it's a simple explanation that the days of the ceremonials is not every day. Only the certain days.
Those are the only times you go in the temple.
Yeah, and if the temple has a anniversary ceremonial, everyone who lives in the neighborhood, in the villages, and they come together to the temple. They pray, give offerings, asking for fortune from God, and they're just going back home afterwards. And in Bali, we have 2 times of celebration. Like in Christianity, they have the Christmas, but they only celebrate once a year. But
Yeah.
in Hinduism in Bali, we celebrate twice a year, every 6 months. It's called Galungan and Kuningan Day. So between Galungan to Kuningan is like 10 days difference.
So it's celebrated twice a year,
Yeah.
but within a 10-day difference.
And then this Galungan and Kuningan Day has a meaning. Galungan Day is a celebration, the victorious between the good against the evil. And the Kuningan Day is the farewell ceremonial to the Galungan. So during the Galungan Day, all of the souls from our ancestors, from the afterlife, they come back to the earth. Their soul comes back to the temple in every houses. You know, when you see the local houses in here, they have small temples.
Yes, I noticed. It's
Yeah.
similar to in Thailand. You have these little houses outside everywhere. They call them sampakum, and sampakum is like it's like a little house for these wandering ghosts. So not even just ancestors, but it's to appease the ghosts who are just roaming around lost.
Yeah,
so they
same,
won't
just
haunt
like
the
in
people.
Bali. Yeah, we have one small stream that, look, you know, you can see it like somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen
You can even look in that corner between the trees.
just the string.
Like a small basket
And just
hanging on the wall.
Just a small little basket.
Yeah. So yeah, in English I think it's called shrine.
Yeah, shrine.
The shrine, yeah, and shrine in Bali, every house has one shrine, which is for the spirit who live around the house, like a guard.
Ah.
So we basically not worshiping them. We live together with them.
Okay.
You know, it's different. The words of worshiping and living together. So
It's kind of like appeasing. So if it's happy, it's okay, everything's fine, but you're not worshiping this spirit.
Yeah, so we are like neighbor, but in different world.
Yes.
Different dimensions. And the Hindu here, they give offerings to the shrines, which is in another word that we give food to them in the shape of flowers.
The offering you put in the morning. Or
Yeah, like
on
the one
right.
you see in the
Yeah,
front
I
of the
know,
door.
small plate.
Yeah, and
It's not for God. This is
no,
for,
it's for the spirits.
And I noticed they're always left there. Are they ever cleaned up and taken away, or you just leave
Yeah.
it? You
They just leave
don't
it for
touch
a
it.
day.
You leave it for one day.
And they will put incense stick. So you can like take it away after the incense sticks finish. You know, but in the people in Bali, they just leave it for a day, and then they will clean it next morning, and they put the new one.
Is it considered in the traditional belief, if you leave it and you never come back for it, like, is this a disrespect that you don't take the offering that was given and used and you don't replace it? If you just leave it like it's trash, is this a bad thing?
Yeah, just like a household thing. If you own a house, then after you eat, you don't wash your dishes. Just make, dirty, uncomfortable. Yeah, they also feel like a human thing. They feel like disrespected. But somehow, if you are away, for example, like you go travel around the world, and then you are a Balinese Hindu, for example, you go travel and you did never pray back home again. But they don't really care about it, because everything that we offer to them, they will take it. But they also understand, before the people going out, they always saying farewell to the temple, like they praying before they leave, asking for safety, fortune when they going out. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave for a few days, or I will never come back. For example, they just saying farewell.
We have the same thing in Thailand with the monks. For example, my master Lersi Lekpakti, his teacher, who passed away 6 years ago, Lompo Kek, is a very, very famous monk of the modern day in Thailand. He was, very highly respected all over the entire country. And we have Lompo Kek's photo everywhere. And so if we are going to do something like dangerous or traveling, or if we are just waking up and starting our day, we make a tea. And Lompo Kek love to smoke cigarettes. So you light a cigarette and you tell Lompo Kek you're lighting a cigarette, and he have this vitamin drink he like. You get a fresh one from market, you set it out, and then you make the tea in the morning and you set it there, and you tell Lompo Kek, you tell his photo, this is for you, Lompo Kek, it's your daily offering, and you explain that you're giving it to him, and you take the old offering away, and you tell him you're taking the old offering away, and then you tell him what you're going to do that day before you go and do it. You can't leave the house without telling Lompo Kek what you're going to do, because if he doesn't know, he can't protect you or help you or do this thing for you, so you have to talk to Lompo Kek, even though he's spirit now. So is it kind of similar in that way?
Yeah, in Bali we do the same thing. But we have very different kind of offerings. Like the one that you see in the front of the door every day, it's like small square made from coconut trees leaf.
Yeah.
With the flowers, and sometimes you will see some kind of snacks.
Yeah, like crackers or something in it.
And
sometimes I see cigarettes or coffee.
If you see cigarettes and coffee, this is offering for the spirits who are like adult. And the offering that has a candy or small crackers is for the children spirits.
Oh.
And you can choose what to put. Today I offer for the old people, for adults.
But you can put it in certain places. You cannot just do it on the ground, just to put like cigarettes and coffee on the ground. No. You have to put it in the correct place, because the spirits know where the places are.
Okay.
Just like human, the kids will take the food from the fridge, for example, to get the snacks. The adults will take the food from the table with the plate. Like with the cutlery.
Or they know where the whiskey cabinet is.
In a simple way, they know which one is their offering. And the biggest one is when you have big ceremonials, like in temple. The people will slaughter a pig. They make suckling pig and they bring it to the temple. They give the offerings to the gods. The gods always have the better offerings.
And there's so much karma entrenched in this island that when you're doing these prayers, it's not just you doing it, but it's like every ancestor before you has done this same prayer, the same act. So it's like building on it. It becomes stronger because of the faith of it being done so many times.
Yes, exactly. And like if you doing the ceremonials in the wrong way, you can see the big ceremonials in the temple in Bali, but sometimes it doesn't go in the correct way. And there will be a sign in the temple. The people who attend the ceremony, they got possessed by the spirits
because they weren't happy.
Yeah, like they try to tell us, you're doing wrong in the ceremonial. You have one thing missing, or you have bad intentions in the ceremonial, so we will not gonna accept it, and we are in a big trouble.
And you have what do you call so the person who is in charge in the temples, What is the name of these holy figures? What do they call them?
The leader of the holy figures who led the ceremonials, we call it pemangku or ida peranda.
And what do these men do? I'm assuming they're men.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sometimes it led by a woman as well.
okay, so these people who have this position, when something is not wrong in the ceremony and someone gets possessed, what do they do? What is their reaction? How
So
do
they
help?
will take the holy water and they will sprinkle to the person and they will communicate what happened, what you want, what is missing, what is wrong, and then this possessed person will talk in the Balinese language to tell the leaders of the ceremony, and then the person will ask the person in charge in the ceremonial who helped him, like the assistant.
Mhm.
Okay, we need to do this and this and this. Please find the stuff that they ask, and immediately they going out to find it, and then they put it in the temple and they ask for forgiveness, and the spirits will slowly go away.
Have there ever been stories of like a foreigner who is invited to ceremony and get possessed and doesn't know Balinese and spoke in Balinese? Is there any
No,
story like
I
that?
never seen that because it's not like that easy to let the outsider joining the ceremony.
So it's not like in some of the Thai culture where they'll invite you in and you can't really participate, but you'll be invited to watch and partake in the ceremony to limited extent.
Yes.
You have to be like, for me in my tradition, like I'm a Lursi and I'm an Ajarn. So in Thailand, I'm considered a holy man. Like I have this status. I have special ceremonial robes. I have teachers who, when I go to these temples or I go to these places, they tell the monks what my role is, and I can go and I can do things that if I wasn't in this robe or if I wasn't with these people, they would be like, who are you, why are you here? And they give me a limited amount to see. But you're saying it as if even if you are interested or being respectful and want to and you're a foreigner, like they might not even let you in at all.
Yeah, that's right. Same.
So what are the ceremonies that you see on Instagram and TikTok? All these people are saying they see, this holy ceremony. Is it just something that's done for foreigners? Yeah, like is it a real experience? What is it that they're actually letting these foreigners see and film?
Well, they just like to documentation. People come to the temple, they're looking for the documentation, nothing more. Even though they try to become in one with us, basically people like them, they learn about us, they learn our beliefs, but at the same time they don't really want to become one. They just want the documentation. And if the person is really want to learn our beliefs, they will take their cameras away.
Really? So the foreigners who have gotten the real experience of it, never allowed to film it.
Well, they allowed to film it, but most of the time, when they really into our beliefs, they will let go their ego. That's the first thing that they should do, because if they bring their dark intentions with them, it's Bali. They will immediately get the bad feelings.
Like in the stomach, they feel that gut instinct is
No,
not
it's
right.
like
Or...
there will be a sign in their life later after the ceremonials. But the gods in this island know which person is really into the beliefs or not. but most of the people who are into the spiritual things, and they try to put some advertisement on Instagram that come to Bali in Ubud. We have the spiritual courses. If you wanna join us, sign up. There will be a price list for them. It's just like blasphemy for our groups. Meanwhile, the Hindu people here will never take any penny when people want to learn the Hinduism.
That's
But
what I'm saying. It's something for tourists. Even like the dances they make on the what to call it. the
yeah,
sunset
but
and-
it's not considered as a ceremonial.
Ah.
The dance performance is 100% culture, art culture.
But not religious and
No.
spiritual culture.
No, we cannot mix that up, you know.
Mm.
But if you attend some ceremonial in Bali in the temple, sometimes they do the dance performance. For example, there is a group of the children, especially the girls, when they are not even get their
Period.
period, which is considered as a pure and clean soul, and they have to wear the proper dancing dress, all the accessories, and they will dance in outside the temple, like the front part of the temple.
They're dancing for the gods.
Yeah, they're dancing for the gods, and it's a sign of the ceremonials. In the middle part, there will be like bottom part, middle part, and the top part. So they were dancing in the middle part, which is the ceremonials just happen few hours already, and there's a next step for the next people who are going to pray after. So it's like a break time, and the people who in the temple they enjoy the show, and then later on the top of the ceremonials, which is the end, after everyone's finished, there will be another dance performance with the mask, white mask with the proper dancing dress. Is always performed by a man. We call it tari topeng sidakarya. That means the ceremonials went well. There is nothing bad happen.
It's a good sign.
Yeah,
And that's the only time you dance, is if that is.
yeah, but it's the topeng sidakarya. They don't really dance. They just like standing, holding like the small offerings, and try to spread something from the offerings, like and move a little bit with the traditional instruments.
No, but is this something got to do with religion or just culture?
This is more to culture in Bali.
Right. When I was in Ubud, there was a temple, the palace temple. They do show every day at 7 p.m. and they come together to dance dances, and they guy with mask, big mask. It's a show for tourists, so it got nothing to do with the religion, right?
Yeah,
It just,
this is pure
culture
art
show.
performances.
Mm.
And we have many type of dancing performance here, but most of them they are just culture.
Culture show, yeah.
Yeah, the only holy dance performance during the prayers at the temple, it's only few of them. Like the one I just said to you,
Okay.
the dance performance performed by the girls. Yeah. It's just simple move. They only shake some hands, move their hips, and they're going around the
Yeah, I saw
temple.
that with the drum.
Yeah. But the one,
With their hands and
there is one best dance performance with the big costume like a lion. You know, the barong dance.
Yeah.
This is the most beautiful dance performance in Bali.
I saw one dance, but I'm not sure what.
So this is dance. the barong dance, and there will be one guy with a monkey costume,
Haha.
and they were like performing in the middle of the jungle while the monkey tried to annoy the lion. They are playing around together, and then there will be a scary looking costume with the big mask with the big teeth. Yeah.
Kind of like a ogo ogo.
Yeah. So during the the era of Kediri Kingdom in Java, there was a woman with a dark magic, and she was unhappy with the king who ruled the area, and then she tried to give the plague to the whole kingdom and to the people. And then there are people inside the castles. They try to attack her with all of the armies in the castle. And this moment being like the people here try to put it as a dance performance to remember the event. There was a big plague happening in Java.
To catalog the history.
Yeah, so we just make it as a cultural dance performance. And the legacy from her is spread to this day. You know, that dark magic is still happening.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
cautionary
it's like
tale.
descended to the next generations.
Yeah.
Because this dark magic cannot be deleted, cannot be erased.
So that brings a really interesting question. So, in this world of magic and spiritual traditions in Bali and this island of the gods, surely you can find or pay someone or encounter dark magic. What do they call the people who practice? Because surely there are. I mean, in every tradition, there is someone who you can find that is like practicing this kind of magic. What do they call them, and like where are they? Like these people that practice this kind of thing.
Well, there always be a teacher.
Of course.
You know, the dark magic, when they descended to the next generation, this power is so strong, which is they need the medium in the human form.
In Thai, they call it barang.
Yeah, so yeah, they in Bali we call it leak.
Lea.
Yeah, leak, Leak. Like in English, you can pronounce it leak, like a leaking water. But in Indonesia, we pronounce it leak, Leak. Yeah, in Bali, the leak is two different magic. There's a white magic and the black magic. But most of the time, the leak refers to the black magic here.
And what do they do?
So basically, they just try to have long,
Like dark Taoist masters of some Chinese and even older Malaysian tradition.
yeah, they really want to have long life because they fear of death. In order to stay young, they have to sacrifice a life for a life.
They do that in some of the dark Tibetan lamas of like, I mean, you couldn't really call them Bonpo lineage because they're not, Buddhist, but they practice like a dark form of Qigong, which is, cultivating energy and life energy that you raise through these certain movements and practices, kind of like yoga, kind of like a pranayama, but this is more done where you're taking the life force from younger people or from people who trust you and come to you, and they pay you for a service and you help them, but in exchange you're kind of like siphoning, taking from their soul so that you live longer. So these people kind of do the same thing. They take the life force, the energy of other people.
Yeah. But in here, their big source of food is the baby.
The babies.
And girls who haven't get
The period, yeah.
period, and also the girls who is still virgin. So when they can take their life, their level is raised. The level of their black magic raised.
So there is still, I mean, it's not in the news, but there is still in some rural areas on this island where they'll do sacrifice.
Oh, yeah, but they don't really do the sacrifice literally in front of the people. You know, they
It's
do the
like a murder.
Yeah, murder with the black magic. This kind of cases happen so many times in this island, and the police cannot do anything.
The baby stopped breathing in its sleep, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and because of there's no evidence, so the police can't inform.
Even if they're convinced and they know, and a family is like, this person is Leia,
Because
they did this.
you cannot just make a police report. Oh, this person do black magic to my family member, and yeah, we have the death in the family because of her. And then yeah, where's the evidence?
It's crazy because you have this deep traditional belief and practice, and it's taken serious, and it's similar in some countries in Africa, but in Africa, even if it's not true and you're saying this person is causing this to happen to a city or a town or a village, and you're in these areas, like the police, they will take this person to court, or they will kill them, or the village will kill them. But that doesn't happen here.
No.
Even if the law doesn't say anything about that in Africa? Or the law doesn't say...
So it depends on the countries you're in. So if you're in like the CAR, the Central African Republic, or you're in, even some remote areas in like Zimbabwe, these kind of things can happen where the police will be judge, jury, and executioner. But if the police don't listen, then you have mob justice. The villagers will take it into their own hands. And that's kind of what I'm curious. It's like in some of these villages, in these rural areas, the police, they know they're not going to do anything, or they can't do anything. Do they sometimes take the justice themselves?
It happens in Java.
In Java more, okay. So not in Bali, but in
I
Java.
saw a news with the video of the villagers. They came to the person who has a black magic house. Everyone in the village come there with their sharp blades, with a sickle, with the machetes, and some of them bring a jerry can of gasoline, and yeah, they murder the whole family.
Wow.
And they burn them.
Not even just the person, but the whole family.
Yeah, because if they don't clean the entire family, there will be a revenge. When they only kill one person who are having the black magic thing.
They did that because this guy did something, or they just knew that this family is practicing black magic?
One of the family member who has the black magic skill, they just murder the whole family to prevent.
So he killed one of other family. And
to prevent the same thing happening again in the future. So they just erased the entire family without mercy.
Wow.
And yeah, but in Bali, we do believe in karma. So whatever you do, if you do bad things to the family with the black magic, your next generation will suffer.
And is this, they believe the gods control all of this, or like how does that
Well, the black magic itself basically an agreement between the human and the demons.
so do you call them asuras, or what is the term that you call them for Balinese, like Hindus,
Like the person who has the black magic?
no, the demons, because I know in like Hindu traditions in India, they have the asuras, right? And in Thai culture they have the yaksa, and these are demons. They're not gods, but they have power. They're not ghosts. And some of the yaksa or some of the asura, like, they're evil, but not all of them are, but they're not completely good either,
Okay.
so these type of beings, like, what do they call them here?
Well, they have many names. I don't even know one of their names
There's
because
so many
it's like taboo.
to say it.
So most of the people here, they don't really know. But there is a book how to practice it,
Wow, yeah, a lot of cultures have
and
books like
it's
this.
not even sell in the public. So the person who has the skill of this black magic, they will written in a book long time ago, in the really big book, very bold, like this thick. And I saw that my father has one,
Really?
but it's so complicated because it's written in the Balinese letter. I can't even read it. Just like in Thai character,
So
similar to Thai, but it's
it's not like Bahasa. It's in Balinese.
Yeah, it's really old one, and I can't understand it. And we call it Rajahan. And this Rajahan can also be applied in a paper or in a white scroll from the leather or the fabrics. The person just need to draw the image of the demons and the position of the legs or hands or the head of the demons, and they will write some letter from the Balinese character, and there will be a formations of some letters and these demons in this side, and this side, and there will be like another weird symbols that no one can really understand what is meaning. And yeah, when you already done with it, you just roll it and put in some case. You can put it in your belt or put it inside your necklace, and they believe this will give them power, or this can be a guardian for their body. So whenever the person try to attack them with the black magic, the magic will not work. Yeah, it's like a talisman.
Yeah. There's similar things in a lot of cultures.
Yeah, I saw the book from my father. I don't really understand it because I was still children, but it surprised me because I know.
And there were pictures, images,
Yeah,
things
and
in there.
weird formation of demons, like ogo,
Wow.
and scary. At the same time, it's scary just to try to open it one pages to another pages. And I don't even finish. I just close the book and I put it back. I don't understand why I found it in my father's bookshelf.